Hello, this is Galaxy Dragons, and today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to make a dragon with a forehead, like Eclipse, but it's going to be a different design, and I'm also going to be giving tips. So let's begin. And you have to first start with the sketch, and I'm drawing Astro from Danny's World. I'd recommend using mechanical pencil because those work better, and this is the image that I'm using. Most of the drawing parts of this video are going to be fast forwarded, so this is me outlining the sketch that I made. It's coming together well. I'd recommend using a thick marker for the bigger parts. I finished drawing the bottom jaw. So I'm going to be using a light pad for my tracing, but you can also just put it up to a window, which works the same way. Now this is me tracing the other side of the puppet. I'm going to be honest, I had such a struggle with this eye. And as you can see here, I also did the thick Sharpie on the eye and the hat because those were the biggest areas, and I used the thin Sharpie on the rest of the head part. I'm coloring Astro now, the first side, and I used a blue and then I put a gray on top of it to make it more diluted, just like the character. And in the hat part, you'll see in a minute, I was using a darker purple, and I meant to use a lighter purple for it, so I had to switch up halfway through. But it still turned out pretty good in my opinion. So yeah. This is me coloring the other side of Astro. I realized that I didn't go back over after I diluted it, so it turned out a little bit lighter than it was supposed to than the other side, but that's fine, I don't really care. And this side went more smooth for the hat, and it makes more sense for the twisted side, and yeah. Here I am coloring the eye. After you finish coloring, you should cut out your drawing, and make sure you have tiny scissors because I find them easier to use, but they might be too small for your hand, just an FYI. To make the base, I traced my hand over so that it would fit my hand more. So you kind of want to make it a triangle after you do that because that's how the nose of the dragon is going to be, and you need to add a little knob right there. And the latches on the sides are for when you cut, that it folds better so that it can go with your dragon's head shape way more and make it more realistic. So as you can see, the two spots where I pointed is where you're going to cut out. It's better if you make the cuts tiny on the side so that it bends more. Here I am cutting it myself to show because I did it off camera before. Here's a little 360 of how it should look after you're done. Now plug in your hot glue gun. While you're waiting for your glue gun to heat up, you can spend time with your pets, talk to your family, or have a dance party. It's your choice. Don't ask, I do it every time I have trust issues. You can go and grab some hot glue sticks, or if you don't have any, you can go out and buy some, your choice. So right here, you're gonna need your hot glue gun to be heated. You need to have a glue stick in, and you're gonna put it along the edges of the head. And you're gonna glue down as you can see in the video, in a few seconds, that I'll grab the headpiece and I will make it so that it'll fit like the head is actually shaped like that on the side. And I went out of frame for a little bit so I wouldn't burn myself. And you need to be careful when doing this, but see how I'm making it so that it'll fit better and have more distinct shape. This is to make it look more realistic like I was talking about, and I would recommend if you have like hot glue proof gloves using them, or if you're immune to hot glue, then yeah. And I'm out of the frame for like 30 seconds, bro. And then once you get it glued on, I'd wait, or you can push it down like on the side that you just glued it on so that it stays better. And you're gonna glue down that front tab so you'd have to, that front piece right there. And if it isn't long enough, then you can just cut out a little piece of paper and then glue it onto there to make it so that it is, so that you can make it so that the front has an even nose front part. I don't know how to describe it really. So that's what I'm doing here. So then after that dries, you can put glue on the side of the nose, like right there. And then like I'm doing right now, like you see how I put that on the side. Then you fold it over onto the nose. And mine wasn't staying very well, so off camera I had to fix it multiple times, and you just wait until it dries. It should be the shape of your dragon puppet's head. Cut another triangle out of paper like this, and fold down the front. So with that triangle that I made earlier, I'm gonna glue the front tab just like there onto the other front tab that I glued on when I bended the headpiece, making it so that it has a bottom jaw, like the bottom of the top jaw, so that it can be able to have your hand in it and be able to open and close. So I'm off camera for a little bit, but I put that there and then I cut it because it didn't fit perfectly. And then after that, you would glue down the side to it, just like While I was waiting for the front to harden, I cut around the side so that it would be more even for the other side of the puppet to fit. And here I am now with my glue gun. You see the edges? I put hot glue on there so that it would stick to the actual base. And you can push it however far down you need it to go, or however far you want the bottom jaw to go into. And so you're just gonna glue it in like that. Not like that, but you're gonna add the glue and then you're gonna put it in. And if you're using an actual like glue stick, then you can just fold the sides so that it would fit better. And you're just gonna hold that down until it fits, so then it will hold it more steady. And if you don't want to burn your finger, you could always use your scissors or something to make the glue hold down more. Now you're going to need to glue down the other side of your puppet, which would be my twisted side, or no, my regular side. And my phone died when filming this, so I had to redo it. So you're just gonna do the same thing that you did for the last one, basically, but you're not gonna have to add all the stuff. You're just gonna place it on top of the puppet. And I had to redo this multiple times because I couldn't get it right. As you can see, I'm lining it up, and I went off camera so that I could get it on better. And this will make the puppet have an even face side so that it's not just one side. So yeah, I'm just holding that down, and I forgot to mention that I added the crosses that Astro has, and so yeah, and she was starting to fall off of the base a little bit, so I just got my glue gun and I fixed that so that it would stay on better. And it wasn't the exact right size, but it was good enough so that it would stay. And yeah, I burnt myself multiple times in this process. Not like painfully burnt, but like, yeah. So just be careful when doing this, and always make sure to turn off your hot glue gun after you finish, or when you're not using it. So I would recommend pushing down on the inside for this part if you need to. And here's a little 360 of how it looks so far with it glued in and all that. So now we're going to begin to make the bottom jaw, which I had it the opposite way, but I decided to switch it. So you're first going to need a piece of paper and make it like how you made the inside of the top mouth. And you're just going to do the exact same thing basically, but you put it in, you make it the exact same basically that you did for the inside of the mouth, but just smaller and onto that piece of the jaw. And the front, exact same, whatever part is going to be in the front is going to have the little ledge part, not the one where your thumb goes into. And as you can see here, I'm going to cut that part off in a second. So, they're kind of hard to make. This one took me probably around an hour with filming, so it normally takes 45 minutes. So make sure you have a good chunk of time when doing this. Now I'm doing basically the exact same thing, but I'm gluing on the other side of the mouth so that it will stay on and the other side will have a mouth, which is pretty obvious. So you need to add hot glue onto the sides of it, and then you're going to place it onto the structure that you've made for the other side, out of the other side, exactly like this. And if it gets wonky, then you can always just redo it and retry it until you like it. And it's how you want it, basically. And so that's how it would look after you've done that. And you need a place to put your thumb. So once it dries, so you're going to grab a piece of paper like that. And you can also just make it how it was, like long, and I just wanted to be lazy and I was tired, so I just did the little block, and it still works perfectly fine. So you can do either, but you're gonna put glue on the sides, and I was running out of glue here, so that's why I was smearing it. And then you're gonna put it in between both of those, like the jaw pieces, like that. And you also can cut it how you need to and wait till it dries. Here's how it looks on my thumb, and soon you're gonna attach to the base. So now we have to figure out how to attach the jaw, which is pretty simple. It's not very hard, but you might run out of glue. So first you're gonna take a piece of paper. I'd recommend cardstock, I forgot to say that in the beginning. And I'd fold it in half, I'd put glue on it, like that. And mine was a little bit off center, so that's fine. And I put it, and if it doesn't fit in between on the bottom jaw, then I'll cut it down so that it'll fit better. And then that side will go into the bottom part of the jaw, like how I'm doing right now, like that. And then I'll I'll push that down so that it'll be there. And then I'll make the top part of the jaw how I want it to go on the bottom jaw, so that it'll be centered and how I like it and ever the person prefers it. And you can make the base bigger or smaller for this, and you can't really tell what I'm doing, but I was just getting it to stick on. Now we have to do the inside. So you're going to do the exact same thing that you did for the outside of it, but you're just going to make it so that you don't fold it. So you're just going to add the thing like this, how I did. I dropped it because it was getting really hot. So I picked it up, and if it gets hot, you can always drop it. And if you burn yourself, and I just placed it in the middle like that, and then I closed it so that the dragon space, so that it would fold according how it's supposed to, and so that makes sure it stays in place better. Here it is all attached to itself. It works perfectly good, and I'm going to show you how I use it now. So yeah, and when you're using it, make sure you keep it closed, and thank you all for watching my tutorial. Bye!